Bonjour! Here is your review for your test on Friday. This is review 2A, right? This is all the material that we've learned in 2A. The very first part of your review is going to be, as always, comme toujours, vocabulaire, okay? What you guys need to know is basically what's going to happen is you have hints in a sentence in French. So, for example, Jacques il aime bien les nombres. Maybe you've never seen the word nombre before, but you can probably guess what it means. Numbers, right? So if Jacques really likes les nombres, if he really likes numbers, then he probably likes what class? Les mathématiques ou les maths, okay? So that is going to be numbers 1 through 8, actually, are going to be questions just like that. So maybe I have one that says, Luc n'aime pas les animaux. All right, so keep in mind that there are going to be some like this where they are in the negative. And remember, we did this already. So we know that when we see n'aime pas, it means he does not like, okay? Here, Jacques aime bien, he likes numbers. Here, Luc does not like animals. And so you'd have to say what course it is that he probably would not enjoy, okay? That is vocabulaire. The next section is going to be on your script. And remember that this is just where you guys presented your own, you became somebody and you presented who you were, whatever, Sandrine and David, all of them, right? So your first question, something you need to go back in your script and look at, is what does Sandrine love? What, not who, right? We know she loves Pascal. But we want to find out, what does she love, okay? So make sure that you go back in your script and you're able to answer that question whenever it comes to the test. You'll have to answer it in French. And then the other question is, how does Stéphane feel about English? All right, and this is obviously before he realized that he was talking to David and totally insulting him. Okay, so just make sure that you're able to answer those two questions concerning the script that you guys presented. The next portion of your test is culture. And what you're going to need to know about culture is you want to look back at, remember your culture page, the name was Au Lycée. So you guys learned about high school in France. So I think that something that was probably most important to a lot of y'all was concerning the sports, okay? So just be able to tell me something about sports. What happens, what's the deal with sports at, high schools in France? And the other thing is, it'd probably be good to know, what is the equivalent for an American A+, B+, and C. Okay, so I would just look into that and look back at your culture page and figure out, okay, what is the equivalent for the American A+, B+, and C? In France, what do those numbers actually translate, or what do those letters actually translate to in number form? So look back at your culture page for that answer. All right, Next section is filling in the blanks with the correct form of your ER verbs. Okay, you have got to remember your ER verb endings. Okay, let's just refresh really quickly that je is I, and the ending you use for it is E. Tu is you. The ending you use for it is ES. Il and elle is he, she, or it. And the ending you use is E. Okay. Then, over here, remember that nous is we. And the ending you use is ONS. Vous is y'all, or you formal. And the ending you use is EZ. And then il and elle plural just means they. And the ending you use for that one is ENT. All right? So if it helps, if you know the order je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, and elle, then you'll know that these endings, you can come up with kind of sort of a tune or something to come up with to help you remember, right? And for me, the way I always remembered it was E, E-S-E, O-N-S, E-Z-E-N-T, E, E-S-E, O-N-S, E-Z-E-N-T. Okay? So if you do that a couple times, maybe before your test, then you'll actually have it in your head enough to get it on paper as soon as you do take your test. All right, so I'm going to move this down and just show you guys a couple of examples. Basically, on the test, there's going to be some sentence. It's going to say vous. It's going to give you some sort of ER verb, and it's going to say something else. All right, what you have to do is you have to take off your ER, and you have to add your new ending. I took off ER and need a new ending. What is my new ending? Vous. Easy. Okay? Over here, a new ending. I want to say he eats, not he to eat. I have to take off ER, rewrite, and add a new ending. E. Okay? Please, please, please study that and make sure you're ready for that. Then the last portion of your test is going to be on questions, not negation, just questions, okay? So basically, you just need to know the different ways to ask questions. So if I had a question and I said, vous travaillez that's it. Vous travaillez. How would you, what are two other ways, I need two other ways to make these into other questions, okay? How can I make this into a question again? Obviously, I'm gonna use the easiest way first. So you guys are gonna have to come up with two different ways to ask this question, okay? Remember the ways you could probably use are est-ce que vous travaillez? And another way that you could do it is by doing inversion. And remember, inversion is just flipping these guys. So then I would say, travaillez-vous, all right? So just make sure that you do know two different ways in asking questions in French. Study hard, make sure you've taken notes on this video and you're ready to turn this paper in before you take your test on Friday. Bonne chance.